Hey guys, today's video is going to be a beginner's guide on how to start your own ant colony. With nuptial flights fast approaching, including the well-known Flying Ants Day, now is the perfect time to think about catching your own queen. You may already be seeing more ants around their nests, and nests starting to open up, followed by winged males and females leaving the nest to mate. I tend to find the queens the day after rain and on a hot and humid day, so keep your eyes peeled. When you catch a queen, you're going to need to house her. Test tube setups are perfect. All you need is a test tube. You can get these basic test tubes super cheap on eBay. Here you can get 100 test tubes for £12. Some bottled water for hydration for the setup and the queen to drink, and some cotton wool balls. So here's how you set it up. Firstly, grab a test tube and you're going to want to fill it about halfway with the bottled water, like that. Then you need about half a cotton wool ball. Roll it up into a ball and pop it into the test tube. Now you're going to need to grab something to poke the cotton wool down with. I use a wooden spoon in this video, but you can use an old pen that's clean, or the end of tweezers, or whatever you use, it don't really matter. You need to push the cotton down firmly and fast to avoid air bubbles. Poke it down so that all the cotton wool is damp. Then the queen will go in there, and then use the other half of the cotton wool to keep her in. This area is called the chamber, and it's where the queen will start her colony. Here's a Lasius queen I caught last nuptial flights. She has already removed her wings, which is an awesome sign that she is already mated and fertile. So I popped her in the new test tube setup, and now to help her settle and feel safe, I wrapped the tube in tin foil to provide her with darkness, trying to mimic her natural underground environment. I leave a bit uncovered at the end so that I can see if the water's going off colour or if she's running low on water. And now I just leave her alone to lay her eggs. I normally leave her alone for at least a good month before I check on her. Until she has her first workers, you don't really have to do anything. She won't require any food because she'll use the old wing muscles that she no longer needs to sustain herself and her eggs. Once she does have her first workers, you'll need to start feeding them. These Lasius are being fed some diluted honey and a bit of chicken. I used a drawing pin to stop the test tube from getting dirty, but I normally just use a bit of tin foil. First I feed them both sugars and protein, but after I do sugars, then a few days later, protein. I find mealworms easiest for test tube feeding as they're easy to cut into portions. Now once the second or third generation of workers arrived, it can be tricky feeding them in the test tube without a lot is trying to escape, so it's time to add an outworld. Here I'm just using a cheap plastic food tub which I barriered with some talcum powder and rubbing alcohol mixture to stop them escaping, but you can use whatever barrier you prefer. I recently tried some other barriers, but I'll talk about them in another video. The outworld makes life so much easier. I place their food on some tin foil outside the test tube. Here they have a bit of cotton wool soaked in some diluted blue Antantic sugar snaps. The test tubes and tub setup also allows you to offer them a new test tube when theirs is getting grubby or the water runs out. The outworld also gives them space to create a trash site. Here you can see they have brought out all the old egg casings over to this corner, making cleaning easier. I also normally put a thin layer of sand or some kind of substrate in the bottom, but you don't have to, as I have some without and they are just fine too. The benefits of having some substrate is that the test tube is unlikely to roll if you accidentally knock them or something, and it also gives them the opportunity to use the substrate to make their chamber less open and closing the size of their chamber. As you can see, they have done this in this video, making themselves extra cozy and secure. So guys, that's the basics on how you start your own ant colony. I hope you found it useful. If you have any questions, you can either leave a comment or message me on my Instagram at antsengland_. Always happy to help if I can, and if I don't know the answer, I'm sure I'll know a pro who does. I'll leave you now with some extra ant footage. Thanks for watching, take care, stay safe, bye!